I wanted to get their signatures, but I was in a.
Did you get like a bracelet?
Yeah, you got a bracelet and you walk through.
And you wait for the lottery to get called out. See if you...
No, it wasn't that crazy. But there was a lot of people, and I just hoped that I could have got my bottle signed. Welcome, everyone, to episode 254 of The Mashup, the shortest bourbon conversation you're going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Stephen, Kenny, and Anthony. What's up, Ken Arthur?
What's up, Ant Dog?
Hey, not too much. I just wish that the month of May, if you will, in the great Commonwealth of Kentucky could make up its freaking mind when it comes to the weather.
Yeah, I got off work the other day. I stopped to pump some gas.
Right.
I was actually cold.
Yeah.
It was weird.
No, I went for a walk, and I had a sweatshirt and shorts on, and next thing you know, I was freezing, and I'm like, what is going on out here?
Yeah.
So, traditional, same stuff, rain for the Derby like every single other freaking year, and, you know, all the other wonderful things of May. So, I'll just tell you this. There was a point in time when Steven and I would mention weather on the podcast, and he would look at me and go, hey, man, no more weather talk. And I'm like, why? And he'd be like, just don't like to talk about the weather. And I was like, all right. So in his absence tonight, we're talking about the weather.
Well, Shayna makes fun of me.
Yeah.
Evidently, as an adult, you're supposed to look at the weather.
Okay.
And I literally never look at the weather, so I have no idea what the weather is until I go out into it.
Yeah.
And if you've seen like those actual weather rocks, you know, if this weather rock is, if it's wet, then it's raining. If
right.
it's dry, but that's me, I guess. I mean, I never look at the weather.
Well, you'd fit in really well at the esteemed institution that I work at, because every single student down there, doesn't matter if it's raining, no umbrella. If it's hot, probably wearing a jacket. If it's cold, probably wearing shorts, you know. So they just basically, they never know what's going on. So you'd be fitting right in down there. And speaking of the esteemed institution, this is short, and we're going to get right into the bottle here.
Boom.
So let me pass this over to you, sir.
I'm very interested.
Yeah, so this bottle that we have this evening is something that we've posted at least twice about on our Instagram account, and it's finally here. So this bottle is the Kentucky WildCask Bourbon. The distillery is JBBI, which stands for the James B. Beam Institute. So it's not really a distillery. It's a teaching distillery. They call it is a distillery. What am I talking about? They have an operating still, but this juice does not come from their own operations. The bottle date is 2025. This literally just came out at the end of April, beginning of May. The ABV is 50. Proof is 100. The age on this is 4.5 to 8 years. And the breakdown of that is 30% of it's 4.5-year-old BBC, 35% of it is 5-year-old BBC, Bardstown Bourbon Company, and then 35% is 8-year-old Jim Beam. And going right into the mash bills, the 8-year-old mash bill for the Beam is 78 corn, 13 rye, 9% malted barley. And this is where it gets interesting, Kenny. The 5-year distillate from BBC, 5-year distillate is 68 corn, 20% wheat, 12% malted barley. And the 4.5-year-old distillate is 53% corn, 39% wheat, and 8% malted barley. The MSRP is $54.99, and I don't think there's any secondary on this as far as I know. They released 2,500 bottles. Most of them, I think some went to local retail, but most of them were released right there on site between the football stadium and the hospital at the Beam Institute right over there.
I did not know what you said was true. I thought this was their first stuff.
Oh, no. So I believe they just laid down their first barrel.
Right, okay.
Maybe last summer. So the stuff that's come off of their actual still, and they do have an operating still for the people like, I noticed when I posted this on the front of it, it says, what does that say?
From the world's largest teaching distillery.
Yeah. Somebody on our Instagram or Facebook put in quotes, teaching distillery, huh? like they didn't believe it. And I'm like, no, you got to understand something. This is actually something that comes out of the Martin Gatton College of Agriculture, Food, and Environment. The Beam Institute is born out of that. It is a teaching thing. Their operational still is for teaching, and they do a lot of wonderful coursework around a brewing distilling certificate that they have there as well.
Yeah. And
that's kind of where this bourbon came from. So I'm going to stop talking for a second because you already poured it and nosed it, didn't you?
Yeah, I haven't tasted it yet, though.
Okay.
But Man, I thought this was their own stuff. All right. Well, it goes to show how much I pay attention.
Well, I do have a little bit of inside knowledge there because I'm a Beam faculty fellow, but I've often told you guys on this podcast that being a faculty fellow for me is just really in name right now. I've been to a few events, a couple of things that they had with sensory panels, been to a couple of their speakers. I've still yet to get to a Beam Institute conference because it's always during the spring break.
During your vacation time.
Always on vacation.
I was getting ready. I was waiting if you were going to admit it or not. But they're always gone on vacation.
Awesome conference with industry leaders. And this year at the conference, they actually pre-sold a lot of these bottles. And then they opened it up to people that were on faculty and stuff like that as well for more general release. But I was going to say, so as a Beam faculty fellow, I know that I think it was last year they ran their first 2 times they ran Distill there. Yeah. And both times they said the liquid came off it at like some crazy proof. Like above what you could consider to be bourbon.
Yeah, and I made whiskey.
I know. I was like, did you guys consider keeping that? But I never found out what happened. But it's really cool. I've toured the distillery there. It's a decent sized column. I don't think they can produce more than a couple barrels a day, maybe.
Oh, okay.
It's not like huge, but they also have experimentation going on there. They have a lot of cool stuff. So I'm excited to taste this too.
Well, I mean, it's $54.
Right.
It's 8-year Beam with 5-year and 4-year Bardstown Bourbon Company. Can't be bad, I wouldn't think.
Well, I wouldn't think so either.
We'll see in about 2 minutes, but
Yeah, right.
Kind of light on the nose. I mean, am I getting?
Yeah, it is sort of light.
Vanilla maybe standing out.
Yeah, vanilla, maybe slight cherry, a little bit of those what I like to call like honey wheat notes that you almost get like with a sort of baked good. They're coming out a little bit. Surprisingly, though, are you picking up any nuttiness on the nose?
I'm not
either. Not traditional Beam nuttiness on the nose, which is actually kind of exciting to me. Not because I dislike Beam. I like a lot of Beam distillate. I'm just that Heaven Hill, others that have like a rich nuttiness on the nose sometimes, it kind of bothers me.
Oh, it's not on the nose,
but it's
somewhere else.
It's in the taste.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. Let's see here. So they may have been able to blend it out of the nose, but not out of the palate, huh?
It is a standout. This is a 7-foot tall peanut.
Oh, wow. Yes, it is. It's like roasted peanuts. What else? I got to take another sip here. This is the first thing I've sipped all day, but that's kind of how I wanted this to be because you guys have heard us be critical of a lot of different type of distillate, and I know people would say as a Beam faculty fellow and a person who works at the esteemed institution that I can't be objective, but I will absolutely 100% be objective on this. So you got to realize what they did with this. They had 2 courses, right? One that happened in the fall, one that's happening now, commercialization of distilled spirits. And the whole point of this class is for people to monetize the craft. So taking it from start to finish, launching a brand, and that's what happened. So students actually took part in blending this. And when I went to pick it up, Kenny, they were all there, all the students who took part in blending, but they were spread so far across the campus, like the way you picked up the bottle, you had to go check in. Then some people were at the one table, some people at another table. And I was like, I wanted to get their signatures, but I was in a...
Did you get like a bracelet?
Yeah, you got a bracelet and you walk through.
And you wait for the lottery to get called out. See if you...
No, it wasn't that crazy. But there was a lot of people, and I just hoped that I could have got my bottle signed because everyone's getting their bottles signed by the people who actually blended the product. I didn't have the time to do that.
Looked like you got your bottle from Kroger in Georgetown.
What's that? Why? Oh, because it's got a little bit of rip on the label. That's right. But yeah, well, while we're sipping this though, like, what do you think of the label? Because I thought they did a nice job with that personally.
Yeah, it's blue and white. I do like it. UK obviously blue and white, but I like it. It looks good. The back is more white with a little bit of blue, and the front is more blue with a little bit of white. So it looks good.
And gold accents, which is nice.
Gold accents, nice. That's then they got the picture on the front, the barrels and the tree.
Yeah, that's actually the Beam Institute on front. Have you been over there yet?
No, I've not.
Okay, gonna have to get you over there to check it out.
It's not bad, man.
Yeah, it really isn't. It's not bad at all. I know that we talked about predominant flavor being the nutty flavor, but not like in an overpowering or bad way.
Well, I was going to say, it is not. So if someone just does not like peanuts,
right,
they will not like this.
Right.
But this is not the bad peanut that I try to stay away from.
Yeah.
This is not that astringent or dry you up or like it's over roasted sometimes. You know, like you get like a bad peanut out of a batch, and it's like it turns you up because it was like either rotten or just cooked too long. There's not that at all. So, but if you don't like peanut, you won't like it. It's very strong. But second drink, third drink is not near as peanutty as the first drink.
Right. I was going to say, now that I've sipped a little bit, more stuff's coming out of it. I'm getting a little bit of like, I think the peanut's almost the oak.
Oh,
yeah. And I'm getting
oak, you think?
I think that's the oak. And then I'm getting a little bit of like that tea undertone, like a maybe a sweetened tea, unsweet tea, maybe a little bit of, I don't know.
A little bit of iced tea.
A little bit of iced tea, yeah.
A little bit of cocoa.
Cocoa.
Yeah.
Cocoa nibs. Iced tea and cocoa, the wonderful couple. Look at you. No, I didn't get any cocoa there, but I did get some tea notes. A little bit of citrus is coming out now. It's actually getting better as it let it sit a little bit, I think, personally. I
don't know if it's getting better as it set or just better as I drink more of it, but the peanut is not near as strong. And like you said, there are more flavors coming through.
Yeah. As soon as you sip it, you know it's beam, but then the more you let it set, it changes to something else, and that's actually kind of nice. Maybe
citrusy on my last drink, a lot more citrus.
Yep, it's almost like a tart citrus.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So I have to ask here, Kenny, because I hate to keep bringing it up, but we were critical of Club Blue because it's an NIL fundraiser bottle, and I said it would be great, and you also said the same thing, if somehow they could leverage the Beam Institute to put something up to scale, to put it out, if they have access to it. Now, this is 2,500 bottles. It probably wasn't more than, maybe 10, 15 barrels? Does that sound right? What do you get out of there?
200? Look at the age. So since it's got 65% of it is 5 year or less, I mean, those are probably 200 bottles at least per barrel, I'd say.
Right, so
and then
probably
the 8 year stuff is probably 180, 190.
So conservatively, like 8 to 12 barrels, maybe in this blend, somewhere around there. I don't know why. Maybe
I'm not doing the math, but I'm not on my calculator out.
If we're just averaging a 200, say per barrel, that would get us there to that 2,500 bottles, I guess. 200 bottles per barrel. So it's pretty cool. I actually I'm decently impressed. The other thing is we talked about price, right? This bottle is meant to benefit students. So they're taking, UK is a not-for-profit organization. I would imagine the Beam Institute probably has a little bit of that in it as well. So they're taking all the profit from this, reinvesting it in scholarships, research, and programming for the Beam Institute. And so you can truly say that this bottle, spending $54.99, sure, they're going to cover costs, but whatever's left over after covering costs is going directly to students. So that's pretty cool. I mean,
that. So there's two things.
Right.
This has 8 year Jim Beam in it.
Right.
What was that Jim Beam bottle we did? It was age stated. Was it 7 year?
The regular one?
Was it Jim Beam 7?
I think so.
Like $30 or something?
Right.
Okay. This completely, totally crushes and destroys that.
Right.
In my opinion.
I agree.
And this totally, completely crushes and destroys the Club Blue bottles.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, not even, like, this actually tastes like bourbon.
Bourbon, yeah.
Not like tequila with some woody staves in it or something. Wow. They need to reevaluate that if they can get something worked out with them.
Yeah. Now, on another sip, I'm getting like, I told you I got a little bit of cherry. Now I'm getting like a little bit of like sweet tarts almost with cherry, I guess is the best way to put it. Getting a little sweet tart candy flavor coming through. And the one other shocking thing is while I smelled the young wheated bourbon on the nose, it's not really bothering me on the palate. Yeah. I think it kind of actually mingles nicely with the 8 year Beam. So all in all, so far, man, I'm pretty impressed with this, and I didn't have a high bar. I know these guys, the guys and gals in the program are learning, and they're going through classes. And so I went into it with that mind frame going, what do I know about blending, right? We talk a lot on our podcast. Kenny, you know more about blending than I do, but I don't have any expertise. And so I'm like, wonder what these guys can do. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised right now.
Yeah, this is much better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I mean, $55. I don't know. Is Cooper's Craft at $35? Better? Maybe, probably,
right.
But maybe not either though, because this is not as didn't seem quite as harsh, even though it's the same 100 proof as a Cooper's Craft 100.
Right.
I mean, it really doesn't.
No, it doesn't have a lot of dry you up kind of alcohol, but
I mean, it really doesn't. I think
now all I'm getting is that sweet tart note. Are you getting that at all? I don't know why.
I just poured some more.
I didn't eat any sweet tart candies. I promise I did not. But somehow or other, that's like getting to be something that I actually enjoy. It's interesting.
Yeah, if you take a bag and just crunch it up in your mouth, and just take a big bite. I can see that.
It's got almost a little bit of a syrup quality, tiny bit of a syrup quality too.
It's a little watery, a little light in color, especially to have let's go at 35% or something.
Right,
is the 8 year, but overall tastes good. Overall,
that's right. So, Kenny, this is a short. We got to get right into it, and this is a 2025 release. So, Kenneth, Arthur, Millicent.
Oh, you have to rate this, don't I?
Yeah, you got to rate it too. Would you pass, try, or buy on the Kentucky WildCask Bourbon whiskey?
I would be a try.
Okay.
It is not bad. I think it's probably $25 higher than what I would prefer, but that price is for a reason.
Right.
It's to go back and help with the students and help with everything else.
I agree.
But no, it is not bad at all, so it would definitely be a try.
Okay. I'm going to actually say that I will join you in saying a try, but I will couch that with saying that as long as I work at the university, the esteemed institution, right? As long as I'm working there, if this is an inaugural release and it's going to change every single year, I mean, I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't say I was going to buy it every year. I'm going to buy it every single year that it releases. Yeah. But as far as this particular thing goes, like if you actually are local Lexington, or if something shows up on a secondary market and someone wants $75 for it, I mean, I would have to say try.
And this is the kind of bottle, since it truly is from the esteemed university.
Right.
You get that and you get it signed. Take it to your football game, take it to a basketball game, get some players a sign. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And I did lament not getting one bottle signed, at least by the people who were responsible for the liquid. But I kind of justified it like, if one of these folks that's in this distilled spirits classes and getting a certificate right now ends up being like a master distiller somewhere, I'll have to track them down and be like, hey, remember when you released that WildCask Bourbon and you were part of that blend? Like, I want to get that bottle signed. But yeah, it's got some collectible quality to it as well. I mean, if they're doing this every single year, once a year, that'd be one really fun vertical to collect. So I'm right there. Where you at with the rating? I'm
going to go 5 1/4. Okay. 5 Yep, 5 1/4.
I'm going to go 6 1/4, but I'm going to remind you guys all out there in the listening audience that I tend to be a little bit higher on my ratings, but for me, for something to make it into the best of 2025, for me, it's probably got to have a 7 or higher to even be considered. So this falls a little bit outside of that, but again, guys, I've been at UK since 2011. The bottle means a little bit more to me than it would probably to the average person who's just out there drinking whiskey. So, yeah, it's one of those things where to see this come about, I know how much it meant to the people in the Beam Institute, how, all smiles over there, seeing all the people from the community go out and grab. It was a 2-bottle limit, so everybody went out and grabbed their 2 bottles, and it's not going to be something that sticks around very long no matter what. So, anything else, sir?
That's it, bro. Boom.
And with that, thanks for listening to this episode. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY.
Don't forget to visit our partner, bourbonoutfitter.com. Enter code The Mashup for a special discount.
Also,
head on over to our partner, the Woodwork Collective, at woodworkcollective.shop. Enter code Mashup for a 15% discount.
Also, let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.